Hi, everyone. Welcome to another live with Anvis and Dogspot. I'm Antaleena, and with me is Malvika today. We are going to talk about online puppy training. Is it doable or not? Right. We'll just wait for a few minutes for our viewers to join in. And in the meanwhile, I hope everybody is having a good time at home and everybody's used to being locked down.
Yes.
Malvika, how's that going? Are you still in denial or have you accepted the situation?
When I'm walking on the streets, it feels weird when I don't have a mask anymore. So I think
Right.
that's a sign of acceptance. But I'm in denial that it's going on for so long. I
Absolutely.
deny to accept that this can go on for so long. But this is life, man. It'll throw
Yep.
its challenges. Hi,
Yeah.
Pretty. I see a comment. Pretty
Yeah.
Jashwani. Hello. Thanks for joining.
Yep. So we're getting used to staying at home, and so are our dogs. We're getting used to us. I hope everybody's taking care of that and giving them time out.
Exactly. They shouldn't get too used to us. That's the
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's tough. It's very tough for both, for the canines and for the humans. So,
Absolutely. Okay, so I think we've waited for a couple of minutes. Let's get started.
all right.
Hi, everyone. I'm Antaleena. I am a puppy trainer with Anvis, and I've been with Anvis for 3-4 years now, and I've been around dogs since my childhood. So my dad decided to bring home a dog before I came home from the hospital. So yeah, that's my journey with dogs, pretty much around them all the time. And with me today is Malvika, who's my colleague and co-puppy trainer at Anvis. Malvika, welcome to the session, and I'll let you introduce yourself.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. It's very nice to be here on this platform. It's my first time here. So I'm Malvika, and as Antonina said, I'm also a puppy trainer at Anvis. But my association with dogs, very similar to her, began very early on in childhood. But it progressed to the next stage when I was in California for a very long time, and I started getting trained to, help train shelter dogs and rescue dogs. So my training career began then. And my hobbies turned into my passion, and I'm hoping to take it forward. And Anvis gave me a fantastic chance to work as a puppy trainer, so I'm glad to be here.
Super. Nothing like working with shelter dogs, right? They teach you so much.
Oh, shelters are the best.
Yeah.
Yes.
We have a few more people joining us. Hi, Rohit. Hi, Dogspot team. Hey, Anand. So Anand is our pack leader
Yes.
and here to keep an eye on us. So we better do a good job.
Behave. If only he could say, issue the command, stay, stop, quiet, wait. We'll do everything.
Feel free to, type in caps when you want us to stay, sit, stand, go down. Hey, Shobit. Hi.
Hey, Shobit. So Pretty saying her babies are also stuck. Yeah, everybody's babies are stuck, and yeah, long walks are hard to come by. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about how to keep them, what we can do during online trainings to keep them occupied and entertained.
Absolutely. So let's get started, right? Let's just begin the session by, asking people what they think. While we discuss, you all can put in your comments about what you think about online puppy training. Do you think it really works or does it not work? And what Malvika and I are going to share with you is our experience of doing online puppy training as well as offline puppy training, right? We moved to the online model. Obviously, the world is moving online, so we moved online too with the puppy training. And there was a lot of apprehension in the beginning, but I think we've broken a few stereotypes, right? And we are enjoying it, and so are our pet parents. And we have some videos to share with you as well. So this is going to be a little of interactive session, guys. So we are going to we want you to use the comment section to play along with us, right? We will begin with we'll want you to show you a couple of videos, video 1 and video 2. And we want our viewers to identify which one is an offline training and which one is an online training. Okay, let's see if you all can identify from these videos. So let me quickly share my screen on the video mode. Okay, here we go.
Good. Sit. Good. Good. Down. Down. Good. 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 Nana, sit. Good girl. Good girl. Down. Good girl.
Right, so hope all of you enjoyed that video. Now, quickly, very quickly, can you please tell us whether we have video 1 and video 2? Is video 1 an online training or an offline training? Is video 2 an online training or an offline training? Take a guess.
Yeah, take a guess. So, and we already have one reply. Anand Singhal, he believes both are online. All right, okay. That's one.
That's cool, right?
Hi, Archana Shenoy. Akira's mom's here. So she's saying the online training is working for her. Thank you, Archana. And hello, Mittal Saab and Meher.
So we're waiting for a few comments here. Video 1 is offline or online. Video 2 is offline or online. And let us know if you want to watch it once more. We can play it again.
Right. Says video 1 is offline.
Video 1 is offline. Okay. What about
I presume video 2 is online. Rohit Agarwal says both are online. Hello, Ravi.
Okay. All right. So that's good. We're receiving some answers there. Okay. While you all are still typing in, we will move on, and we're not going to really tell you right now what it is. Some suspense, right, for you all to hang around. Okay. So let's quickly move on to the actual discussion, right? So what is online puppy training, Malvika, if I have to ask you?
All right. So I come from the school of offline, right? Like, as you said, I was very skeptical when you said we're going online. I'm like, how are you going to do this online? But offline is where a trainer is present physically with the family, with the dog, observing the pup, observing the family, having an interaction, making suggestions on or analyzing behavior and things like that, right? But online is different. Online can come in two different forms, right? One is what you see online, which is on, you can go onto YouTube, you can see Caesar Milan or, Zach George or everybody else. It's more,
self-paced.
Yeah, it's self-paced. It's one-dimensional. They show you how to do it. They'll talk about it, but that's it. That's the end of the association, right? But there's another type of online that I think we're doing much better now, which is it's more a guided sort of online learning, where you're going to have a trainer with you as in the family, and we will have constant online interactions, virtual training sessions, where we don't have to be physically present, but we are with the dog, we are watching and observing the animal, we're watching and observing the family, we're trying to figure out the lifestyle, we're trying to figure out the puppy schedule and lifestyle and things of that sort. So it's more guided. Imagine you have a hologram of a trainer in your house, and that's it. That's how online is. Replace that individual with a hologram, and you have offline versus online. And that's how I see it. But you've done more classes, so I'd like to know your thoughts. What else do you want to say about online training?
I think online training is great because you don't have to travel in Bangalore traffic to get there. Right, so we can do more trainings. We can help more pet parents work with their dogs.
It's not
And
just Bangalore; it can be any city now.
no, yeah. When we were doing in person, we had to travel in Bangalore, right? We couldn't go to other cities. So
Correct.
yeah, another advantage. Now we can actually, we are global because we are online, right? We can help any person, in any country, any city, with training. We can share our experience with them. We are not restricted to one city anymore. Uh, Again, I think, the online training, I don't see any difference with offline, except that, I don't get to meet the dog in person and I don't get to, play around with them and cuddle them and stuff. But otherwise, I think online training is working great because we tend to talk the same things that we would. We discuss pretty much the same things. And I think the pet parents are putting in more effort, which I feel happy looking at.
Yeah.
Right?
So what is this Anvis thing? I mean, what are we doing online, right? I don't know if everybody's aware of what Anvis offers in terms
Yes.
of
So,
online.
so Anvis has this academy called Alpha, where we have courses, right? We have courses for people who want to know more about dogs. We have courses on breeds. We have courses on first aid, of how you can identify initial health issues with dogs. We have courses on how you can walk your dogs on leash and the techniques that we have learned over the years. We also have a nice cat course online. And we also have this, the puppy training, right? Where we actually get in touch. I mean, if the parents get in touch with us, we have this online session every week where we discuss all the issues and all the solutions to that, about the training. We are talking to them for 1 hour each week. We're doing a video call, so we are watching them. We give them homework and we follow up
Yes.
quite rigorously. Right?
The homework's interesting. Yes.
So we'll talk more about that. We give them homeworks and we are constantly in touch with them, right? So frankly, a trainer comes in once in a while any which ways, right? You're anyways keeping in touch with them over phone or over chat and stuff. So for me, online didn't make too much of a difference, other than, just having that, like, you see the person in front of you. That's it, right? So let's because we're discussing online, let's actually discuss online versus offline, right? So maybe that will make more sense for our audience.
Yeah.
So from a similarity point of view, right? For me, the similarity is our conversations remain the same. Nothing changes, right? Nothing absolutely changes, because most part of a training session is consultative and a smaller part is the actual demonstration, right? Which they need to practice later. We discuss a lot of issues, new pet parents, we give them a lot of advice. So that's one similarity I see. Do you want to call out some similarities? Because I don't want to be the only one talking.
No, you do it very well. No, you're absolutely right. Right, when we talk in online, what's the similarity? As you said, yes, we are expecting a lot of things that the pet parents have to take on. Nothing changes in terms of the structure of the program, right? Online does not mean you are shying away from teaching the dog some very critical obedience commands or certain behaviors, right? That doesn't go away. Just because we're not physically present doesn't mean we're going to stop teaching the dog how to go walk on a leash because we're not there. That's not going to happen. It's our duty to make sure that we cover the critical elements during training, and that will continue online. There's nothing that's going to be removed from an online course, right? It's the same conversations we'll have around puppy issues, around behavioral issues, around health issues. We cover that, right? And I think we can talk more about how our online sessions go. But when we're physically present in in an offline session, these are one of the things that we spend most of our times on. My puppy's jumping and biting and potty training and teething and chewing and all of that. That again, when we're online, doesn't mean we stop having those conversations. In fact, I think we can talk about advantages, but there's more to it, right? Online than
let's talk about the advantages, right? We can quickly move on to that because it's interesting how much of advantage the online sessions have.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I told you I was a skeptic early on, and I wasn't sure how this online thing goes. But one of the advantages I've seen, the biggest one, is that there is a very constant communication between the trainer and the family. That's one. It's not like the trainer comes in on a Monday morning and we train for an hour and we're gone and we show up the next Monday. It doesn't work that way, right? It's we are there, we have a session, and through the week, at least at Alpha, we are available for clarifications, for doubts or questions or comments or opinions about different things. We're always there, which I think is a huge advantage, especially when you're dealing with the stress of having a puppy in the house. You need to have that constant feedback, right, from someone who claims to know more. And that's one advantage I've seen, right? And I think that's the other thing is you know this better, but it's also about how are we going to keep up with the making sure the bond between the parent and the pup remains strong, right?
Absolutely. I think it's only getting stronger, right?
Exactly.
I think parents are putting in more time, more effort. They know their dogs much better because of the online, because they don't have help, right? They're not waiting for the trainer to come in and solve a problem. They have to solve it based on what we ask them to do, right?
Exactly.
They have to be hands-on with the puppy. So we're hearing a lot more feedback from pet parents, a lot more things that they're observing about their puppies, right? Yeah, go ahead.
No. I'm just thinking of that. We were discussing this, right? When we used to go offline, we had the person's driver come to me and ask me questions about how do I train, because somebody's busy doing their thing, but the puppy's here, the family is not here, but the driver's sitting there. He's like, I'll communicate whatever's said to the family. I'm like, yeah, right, that's going to happen. But online, I love it because the family is involved, right? And that there is no proxy family person in there. And we expect consistency from every single family member, so everybody's invested. And I think that's a fabulous benefit of having, online classes.
So, and I think the positive side of COVID is that, right? I think people are bonding better with their dogs because they have no other choice. They have to live with the puppy in the house, and they can't have destruction, because usually pet parents will go to office, they'll come back and then see the destruction, right? But watching destruction in front of your eyes is unbearable. So I think it's working out well, right?
Yeah, and Archana is also saying that these online training courses make pet parents more self-sufficient and hands-on. Absolutely, right? And you are, as Archana said, we are the ones who are going to live with the pets, right? So it's best we know what works for the pet, what doesn't work, because some of the behavioral corrections we make for one pup or one breed may not work for another, right? So that customization also works. Which I think is another benefit of online.
So we don't just I don't think we're just puppy trainers, right? I think we are puppy parent trainers, because we are more often training the parents and not the puppy. And I think that's how it should be. We shouldn't be the ones training your puppy, because your puppy needs to listen to you and understand you more, right? Okay. What do you think? We spoke a lot of good things about online, right? A very rosy picture. But what do you think are the hurdles, really? Let's talk frank here.
So my hurdle, at least from my experiences online, has been around, two things, right? Sometimes the pet parents come and tell us, well, my dog is terrified of something, or my pup is extremely afraid of something. And when you ask them to record a video and you see it, that's not exactly a body language that's fear or terrified behavior. That's not what it is. Sometimes it's just anxiety, right? So that body language, looking at observing body language, is something that we have to do offline. I mean, when I say offline, it's through a video, right? They record a video and send it to us. So we're not physically present to quickly tell them, no, this is not the issue. The issue may be this, right? So there's a slight lag, is what I think, in one instance, online versus offline. But at least
that kind of dependent on the videos, right?
Exactly, yeah. But the behavior does get corrected. It's just that doesn't happen immediately like how it would in an offline class, right? And you have helped me out so much in my online classes with leash walking, right? Maybe you can talk about the leash walking.
I think that's one of so we can handle normal behavior, right? Which we think is normal. But if there is a case which needs special attention, related to behavior or related to anything else that actually needs special attention and a lot of observation. I think those are the kind of things that's a hurdle online, right? So actually, in one of Malvika's cases, I live very close by to the pet parent's place. So what I did, a couple of weekends, I would just go and stand and observe how the pet parent is walking the dog, and give them some tips. Obviously, maintaining social distance and not entering their home. So I would meet them on the road, and they would walk their dog, and I would just walk with them and tell them what to do and what not to do. So it wasn't very difficult. I think they did a very good job after that. In fact, today morning I was there with them, and the dog behaved beautifully on the walk. But it's just that one visit, right? Which made the difference, which we may not be able to do at all times because they live close by. I was able to go, but again, distance is a matter here. So yeah, those kind of things like small nitty-gritties where special cases, I think it becomes a little difficult for us unless we're able to.
Correct. Go on.
No, unless we are able to explain it very well to the pet parent, and the pet parent is able to absorb it very well and able to implement it the way we are saying it, right? So I think because of that, one thing we've done at Anvis is we have a walking course on our academy, on our website, and over there we are giving the pet parents complete access to that whole course. That course talks about the different scenarios of walking, right? What if you meet a stray? What if your dog is jumpy on other people during a walk? What if your dog doesn't like another dog on the road? How do you manage that? What if your dog picks up stuff from the road? Beagles have that habit because they are scent hounds, and their noses are stuck to the ground, and you don't know whether they are sniffing or are they eating something off the road, right? So we have, and then we have techniques of leash walking, recorded videos, explanations. So we are giving our pet parents, just to fill that gap of not being able to go personally. We are trying to give them as much information as possible through that course.
And it's brilliant. See, one thing I've learned is you can't pick up walking a dog on an Indian street from any YouTube channel. A lot of parents have come asking me, well, walking, I saw this video where this person was walking like that. I'm like, have you seen the Indian roads? Do you think you can walk a dog like that on the Indian streets? There are nuances, there are techniques. And as you said, it's important to understand your dog better because nobody will tackle that through just, a one-sided video, right? It has to be an interaction, and the course is awesome. I strongly recommend people to use that, to take a look at that. Yeah, I agree with you.
So we have a few more people saying hi to us. Let's just quickly take a quick peek. Malvika is saying hi. Not this Malvika, but we have another Malvika. Hi, Vizel. Hi, Kumar. Hi, Chandan. Good evening. Hi, Mr. Mittal. Okay, we have one comment which says, I must put this up. It says, wow, India. Thank you. We also have Preeti Goyal.
And thank you, Mr. Mittal, saying this is a very good initiative. Thank you. Yes, it's novel. And I think the word needs to spread more, right? There are many more families who can make use of us now. We're not city limited anymore.
Yep. Okay. So moving on in our conversation, right? So we spoke about a few hurdles. Frankly, I don't see more hurdles than this. If there is a severe behavior issue, we anyways advise a behaviorist, right? We don't, even if it's offline, we don't really take it up and go with it. So we don't see too many hurdles as such in online training. And I'm not saying this because we are trainers, but yeah, it's just the experience. Okay. Online has little hurdles, more advantages, according to us, in our opinion. But what about challenges with offline training, right? People think that when my trainer is visiting home, it's great. Yeah. That's the right way to do it. It's the best way to train my dog. I'm going to ask all my questions to my trainer, and that's it. My dog is going to be the best trained, best well-behaved dog ever, right? So what do you think are the disadvantages of that, of going into people's house to train their dog?
I think you can, Anand can, the other trainers are also, they possibly can comment on this, but I think the one thing it's me. I feel like the parents look at the trainer walk into the house and they're expecting a magic wand. Like where fairy godmothers will come in and whoosh, all your problems are gone. I think that's the expectation from offline classes, right? They expect the trainer to come in and in 1 hour resolve issues, perform miracles, whatever it is that we can. But that's not doable. Offline has the expectation that just because the pup has performed a command like sit or stay or go down once, that means the pup will remember it for the rest of his life. So what I've noticed in offline is the consistency to keep training sort of wanes away after the excitement of having the dog get trained sort of wanes away. It goes in tandem. Week 1, yes, the whole family is involved. By week 2, we just see 2 or 3 people, and then by week 3, it's just the primary caretaker. And I think that goes because everybody is assuming that the pup has performed the command once, so the pup will remember it for the rest of its life. Right? I think that's one of the things here. But with online, they know that it's on them, right? They know that it's entirely on the family to make sure the pup behaves. But they are invested because they become
tired, right?
Exactly. So I feel like that was one of the disadvantages with offline. And with offline also, I think as trainers, we would also spend a lot of time training the dog. And the amount of time taken to have the pet parent perform it in our 1 hour session were also limited, right? They wouldn't get a lot of hands-on time. But in this case, it's much more on the pet parent, which is great. But less
and
so
I
on
think
the
they're doing their homeworks better as well, right? In the offline model. I'm sorry, in the online model.
online, yeah.
So because Malvika and I have done offline and online trainings, I mean, because the pet parents know that we cannot come in, they are more interactive with us, right? The videos that we need, the reinforcement videos that we need, it's all coming in. I mean, and it really makes us happy, and we are able to involve all family members into the training, right? In offline, again, that was becoming a little bit of a challenge. Either one pet parent is there, the other pet parent is not there, or is busy. So we were not able to really get that time. But now that everybody is home, like really grounded at home, we are taking that advantage, and we are, involving the entire family. From even if there are grandparents in the house, there are children in the house.
Yeah.
If you have house help, permanent house help, everybody gets involved in the training, in the online training, right?
Yeah. And the online training also, I think we have kept it a little more engaging, where we're asking different people to get involved during the class, like performing recall, or by saying, asking the dog to wait at an entrance, or by introducing distractions within the house while you're teaching stay. These are things where the whole family gets involved, right? Previously, the trainer would substitute for a lot of that. But here we're sort of guiding and everybody else is doing. So really the work is entirely the family. We're just here sort of guiding them and being sort of their agony aunts in times of, but apart from that, it's fabulous to see the bonding between the pup and the family now.
And also in offline model, I've seen pet parents underestimate themselves. Oh,
exactly.
I don't know if I can do it. Can you show it to me? I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I can do that, right? But online, you don't have a choice. You have to do it. So they figure out a way to get it done. Right?
No, that's a very good point. I mean, even the lead walking incident, remember, we had one pet parent who was a little reluctant to do so, and then eventually warmed up to it, and now doing such a good job walking the dog. I mean, the place from very low in confidence to even the pet parent saying, I can do it. I can have this full grown, big little guy with me, and I can walk with this person. So exactly. it's very nice to see that. Yeah.
Yep. That gives us a high, right? Thank you for this comment, Mr. Mittal. We have one question. We'll quickly take it. It's from Preeti Goyal. She's saying she has a 5-year-old Lhasa Apso, and she's asking if a 5-year-old can be trained. According to me, yes, absolutely. A dog at any age can be trained, but the key to it is you being patient and giving the dog time to learn, right? Because a dog which is 5-year-old has already learned a few things. The dog has to unlearn and learn the new way of doing things. So whether it's so puppies pick up faster, right? Because it's their formative years. But with adult dogs, you must be really patient with them. It's not impossible at
Yeah.
all. Malvika, do you have anything to add?
No, that's absolutely right. I strongly believe you can teach an old dog new tricks, especially with the shelter dogs. We used to have senior 10-year-old dogs learning commands for the first time, right? So that absolutely can be done. Unlearning for the pet, yes. It's also a lot of unlearning for the pet parent. It's
Yes.
a lot of behavioral changes within the human also needs to come in, because you might be rewarding bad behavior, you might be ignoring good behavior, or you might just ignore it, right? Which means it's a mess. So you'll have to change the family's behavior as well as the pup's behavior. So it's a two-way street, especially for a 5-year-old, right, or an older dog. So it's kind of rewriting the whole slate. That's what it will be. But yeah, absolutely you can.
And somebody's actually giving us feedback. Do you want to read it?
Oh,
It's hard to have a phone with you at all times to record your puppy's progress. You guys are strict with homework. Yes, we are. So we are going to make you what should I say? Phone handlers, good at videos, good at pictures. Yeah, so those are new skills that you will learn along with puppies.
This is when families are together, no? You have someone else hold the phone for you.
Yeah, and I have given tips to my my customers saying, why don't you just keep the phone in a corner and I'll watch. You just go ahead and do your stuff.
Yeah.
Watch. So yeah, we have very creative people who have given me ideas of how you can actually take a good video yourself, right? So yeah, there are many ways we can help you out with that too, Archana. Okay. So I'm just going to quickly check if there are. Hi, Preeti. Hi, Priyanka. How to tell them to stay calm? Priyanka is asking. So Priyanka, we'd like you to give us a little bit more information about what dog do you have, what's your dog's age, what is the kind of behavior. Then we can quickly, take it up and discuss it real quick. Somebody's saying just eat the dog. I don't know what that means, but okay, maybe a cute dog which looks really adorable, and sometimes you really feel like giving the dog a bite, right? Okay.
Going to have a 5-month-old lab and nothing else beyond that. So, well,
yes.
Congratulations on getting a lab, but if you have questions, do let us know, Navdeep.
Yes, just give us a bit more information so we can help you, right? Okay, so Archana's response is, our trainers from Anvis have become our go-to friends for all puppy queries. Thanks, Archana. Very happy to be that. Okay, now let's talk about a typical Anvis session, right? What do we do? What do we do when a client comes to us and asks for puppy training? To begin with, I'll start off and then hand over to you, Malvika. So the first thing we do is we actually collect some information from the pet parents about the puppy. We do our homework so that, when we are talking to you, we have a 1-hour slot, right? We don't want to waste time in collecting basic information from you. We want to spend more time talking to you about the different issues that you're facing or your expectations, right? So we pre-collect information about the puppies. We go through it. We obviously assign a puppy trainer, and then we go on an online session, a video. Each of our sessions are video calls. We go on a video call, and the first session is more of understanding the pet, understanding the pet parent's family, right? Understanding their equation, understanding their behavior, the dog's behavior. If the dog behaves badly, what do you do? So there are a hell lot of questions that we ask. It's literally like an interrogation session, right? We enjoy it, but I'm not sure the pet parents do. But yeah, it gets
competitive then.
Yep. It gets better with the second session where, we lighten down a bit and we get to business. So Malvika, do you want to tell everybody what we do in terms of actual training?
Yeah, sure. So once we've collected this information, right, as Antaleena said, we do have a discussion about what's their lifestyle like, what's the puppy schedule like. We try and figure out what the puppy does at every point of time. There's a very long conversation we have about typical issues that they have with the pup. We address those issues as well. But in every session, the way we have this session is, apart from just talking about behavioral or any other issues that you're having with the pup, we will also spend some time putting together a command, right? We will help instruct you and show you how a command has to be performed with the pup. Like, we start with a simple recall, right? Recall is nothing but the command come. It's very important for a dog, especially, you don't want it straying away from you. You should be able to control your dog. What if it gets away from you? Its leash gets away. You want to call it back to you. These are life-saving commands. So we will introduce you to how to perform a command. We have demo videos as well. Alpha has videos that we will share to our registered clients. And after looking at those videos, after hearing from the trainers on how to perform it, we will have the pet family perform that command during the session itself. We want to make sure that you yourself will perform a successful command, and probably by everybody in the house, right? The puppy does it successfully with everybody, because that's something for us to know, that it builds confidence in the parent, and B, it also helps the puppy bond with every individual there. Right? Some kids are not just playmates. They can also offer instructions. They can also control the pup. Kids are not left out of this puppy training sessions, right? They're very, very integral parts of this session. So we will talk about issues, behavioral or health issues. We will also address commands. And we're always checking in to see how the prior week's commands have gone. And we will talk to the parents about how do you sort of take the command to the next level, which is how do you complicate it further? How do you, for instance, recall, or having the dog come to you when you're not in sight? The dog can't see you, but it's hearing your voice. It wants to come to you. That's the sort of recall association one needs to have, right? Or you introduce distractions in stay. We'll tell the parent, okay, next class, I want to see you have the dog perform stay with distractions. And in the next class, we'll also tell you how to do that, right? So in the next class, we will ask you to show what you learned from the prior classes and what homework we expected you to have completed for the next class, right? So it's not like we've taught you sit in this session and we'll never talk to you about sit again. We will always revise what happens in every class, and we will take the prior commands to the next level. We will also introduce a new command, right? Without forgetting ever to check in on you on any other puppy issues that you may have, because the duration of this course is such that it goes from, whatever the 3 or 6 month old puppy to maybe a 6 month old or a 9 month old or maybe even an adult dog, right? So we will take you through different phases. We will be with you through different phases of the puppy's life.
Absolutely. And, a lot of times, even during emergencies, we've been there, right? The pet parent actually has really got scared and called us, and instead of the vet, and we've asked for some symptoms, and we've been able to calm the pet parent down and say, okay, it's not that bad, it doesn't sound that bad, you need to calm down, because first time pet parents, it's quite natural for them to really get worked up to see a dog pooping or throwing up and things like that. So many a times we have come in handy during those times as well. So it's not just sticking to obedience training, like Malvika said, all aspects of the puppy's life. We guide you through all aspects of the puppy's life. And at any point, if we think we are not the right people, we're not the experts, like health issues and things like that, we will ask you to go to a vet, or we will ask you to go to a behaviorist if we notice a behavior that we may not be able to correct online, right?
Right.
One
other thing that I want to say is, it's not like we come in and we spend 45 minutes of the class just teaching you a new command, right? I think it's the other way around. I think teaching the dog to perform a command is quick, because all our pet parents, by living with the dog constantly now, especially with lockdown, they know how to handle their pup. They're used to having the pup around. So, the relationship itself is different when we start online. But it's not like we've spent 45 minutes talking about, commands and just the 15 minutes on issues. In fact, I think it's the other way around. As you said, we turn into agony aunts and we also listen to a lot of their issues for the
Yeah.
majority of the session, right?
Yes.
And the remaining part, we do ensure that commands are taught and commands are well understood, and enough guidance is given for the commands to be consistently performed through the rest of the days until the next session, right? Which is when we'll have a check-in again.
And yes, and we also make sure your dog is well rewarded
Yeah,
for
absolutely.
obeying, because that is absolutely important. Positive reinforcements, rewarding your dog is absolutely important. I mean, pet parents, I'm sure pet parents who are watching us today would agree, about how important it is to really reward their dogs. They just wait for
Yeah,
that good boy, a good job, a good girl. And it's about how you say it, right? It's
correct,
not
correct.
about good girl. It's about saying good girl, that's a good job, right?
Yeah, it's an energy
I
level. It's critical.
Yes, I have had sessions with pet parents where I've demonstrated these expressions, right? I've said you have to be this way. You have to sound excited for the dog to be
Mm.
excited, right? So it's all about coaching the pet parents, frankly. And it all falls in place when they start understanding this and when they start seeing positive reactions from the dog. I think it all falls in place. And it's really nice to see that journey as a trainer, right?
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
satisfying. So we have a quick question. We have a question from Meher. My puppy is 3 months old and has been at home as advised by the vet. I think it's because of the vaccination, right? And it's
Yeah,
monsoon
probably.
time, so uh, it's not a good time to take your puppy out without vaccination. We now want to potty train him outside. That's great. However, he refuses to go out and does not relieve himself either. What can be done to make him do his job outside, basically? Malvika, you want to take a stab at that? A quick tip, maybe you want to give the pet parent?
Yeah, he has to. It seems like, yeah, it seems like the pup is not necessarily inclined to be outdoors, right? I
Yeah,
think the last sentence is what is critical here to make him like the outside.
yeah,
So things we can do is when you do take him outside, engage positively with him, which is, have a small toy for him to play with, or you can also, kind of take him outside. Every time he takes a step out, you reward him for doing so, right? You take him near the door, you sort of lure him with a treat in your hand and you say, come on, let's go. And he takes a very reluctant step, one step outside the door, and you reward him there because he has to start associating going out as being a good thing. It's not something to be afraid of. But if the dog is fine just walking out, but doesn't like staying out, then I think you have to have some activity to positively, engage with him. So if he likes his toys, then play his toys with him, or try and feed him outside, whatever it is that keeps him happy, right?
yeah.
Whatever he
Sometimes
likes.
dogs like other dogs, right? So if your dog if your dog really likes other dogs, you can, if your neighbors have dog or your friends have dog or you have dogs in the vicinity who go for a walk, you can you can check with them and actually take your dog for a walk at the same time. The other thing, one of my very first sessions was with an indie who was reluctant to really walk out of the door, right? Even if the door is left open for her to walk out and nobody is watching her, she will not step out, right?
Mhm.
So basically, letting your dog be successful in every step that the dog takes towards going outside, right? So like Malvika was saying, don't try to take your dog out altogether at once.
Yeah.
Walk tiny steps, stand out 2 steps outside the door, and practice bringing your dog out with a recall command, just 2 steps outside the door, right? Practice that for 15 days. Let your dog get comfortable and then take 2 more steps back and then practice that for the next 15 days, right? So it's all about not aggravating the fear by forcing the dog to go out. It's about taking small steps and helping the dog be successful. That way you're going to build confidence in the dog, and it's just going to help
Yeah.
your dog get rid of the fear that the dog has. Yes, use help of your neighbor's dogs or whatever your dog's like. The main thing is identify what your dog likes
Yeah.
outside, right? Okay. So going ahead from here, I'm sorry.
So Ankit,
Mm-hmm.
Ankit Chakrabarti, he has a question. Are you saying that, Antaleena?
Uh,
He's He's talking about a 9 weeks old Rottweiler that he has, and he likes to start crate training very early. It's got a foldable iron crate for now with partitions to adjust the size as he grows. So he's asking if it works for crate training now, or should he go for the plastic transport crate? And tips for crate training, that will be great. Do you want to take that first?
It's great to crate train your dog, definitely. The plastic ones are more covered, and they're more safe. The ones with the grill, your dog's paw can get stuck in it and things like that. So you can, if you have the grill one already, you don't have to replace it. Maybe you want to just put sheets in the bottom and stuff like that, so your dog doesn't hurt your paw or hurt his paw. About crate training, it's about making the dog comfortable inside the crate.
Yeah.
And not scaring the dog away, and not making that a punishment corner, or not shutting the door.
Not a timeout corner. Yeah.
Right. It's not a timeout corner. It's a space for the dog to freely walk in and walk out at any point in time. How you can do that is we suggest, one of the ways we suggest pet parents to make their dogs comfortable with the crate is to start feeding the dog outside the crate first, and then slowly moving, the bowl just inside the gate of the crate, and then slowly pushing it a little more inside and a little more inside. And all this while, do not shut the door on him, right? So your dog gets comfortable about going inside, spending the time that he's eating inside the crate, and then coming back out freely, right? So he knows that if I go in, I have the freedom to come out. It's very important for him to understand that. And then gradually you can, put his toys inside, give him his chew stick, his favorite thing to chew on inside the crate. Let him sit there and chew on his bone or toy. You can then gradually put his bed inside there, and then give him his chew toy there, right? Come back from a long walk, so that he's tired, low on energy. Give him his toy inside the crate, or a chewy inside the crate. And, he's invariably going to start using that as a resting place. He may fall asleep sometimes in there, which is a very good thing. Then he wakes up and he sees, oh, the door is open for me, I can walk out again, right? So that's how, and it's very gradual. Again, please be very patient with it, right? Don't be in a hurry to crate train your dog, because once your dog is scared of the crate, it's very difficult to get them crate trained after that. So take it absolutely easy, and definitely consult an expert for detailed help on that, based on the size of your Rottweiler. Yeah. The crate size should be based on the size of your Rottweiler and things like that, right? So make sure you consult an expert for that. So that was one of the small tips using food. Do we have any other questions? How to say no effectively? Preeti, no. That's the way to say no. Right? We as dog people, we don't know any other way of saying no. Your body language needs to be stern. See, the dog is looking at you like another dog, right? So behave like another dog which is not liking the behavior, right? So stand tall, say no, have a firm body language, have a firm voice. Please don't do this. Please no, leave my skirt. Please don't bite.
It's no.
Yes, that's definitely not going to work. See how y'all can imagine how well we are demonstrating, right? So these are some things that happens even during our online sessions. We've become very good actors. We can, demonstrate, enact and demonstrate. Use a lot of body language to say no to your dog. If you're at the height of your dog and your dog is not listening, stand up to show your dog that you're taller and bigger than your dog, but definitely not to a point that you're going to intimidate the dog. Okay. So when you're saying no, you don't stand there and keep saying no. You walk away from that situation so your dog does not repeat that behavior, right? Your dog is going to repeat that behavior to get your reaction. You say no and turn your back on the dog, right? So you're not intimidating the dog. You're not scaring the dog. You're not, initiating any aggression in the dog. You're just saying, no, I didn't like your behavior. Bad boy. I didn't like what you just did. No. And turn around and walk away. Was that good acting, Malvika?
Fabulous. The opposite too. No, but that's right. You have to be stern.
Yep.
All right.
Okay. Is it a matter of discipline, like you direct your puppy to be crated? Oh, it's a matter of discipline. Okay, Mr. Mithil, that's not a question. He's just commenting, saying it's a matter of discipline when you train.
And quickly about crate training, right? I'm a big fan of crate training, and I think it's one of the best things you can do with your dog. But it is not an option for you to leave your dog for 8 or 10 hours in the house in the crate while you're out, right? Once you start working, the crate is not the place for you to leave the dog in for 8 hours. If you do want to do that, you need to ensure that once you've trained your dog, you also have somebody who comes in, like a pet walker or your neighbor or somebody else in your family, to take the dog out, let it walk, let it relieve itself, let it stretch. And the crate size should also be such that the dog should be able to stand up and move around in the crate, right? Not as a pup, but as an adult, as a full-grown adult. That's the sort of crate you need to buy. And I've traveled to multiple countries with my plastic crate and my pit bull, and he loved it. That was his sort of home, his den. But we also started him with the iron gate. And the way we used to make it more appealing for him was we used to cover it with bed sheets and things like that to darken it, because dogs are eventually den animals. They like dark places. So you'll see a lot of puppies trying to go under the sofas or under the beds and trying sleeping there because they like the darkness. That's how cave puppies, how puppies lived in caves, and that they try to replicate that. The genes are still there, right? Sorry, that was the one thing I had to say about caves.
We have one more question from Anand. Can separation anxiety be treated online as well? It definitely can be treated. It's not about treating the anxiety. It's about how you handle it.
Handle it, yeah.
Right? There is no treatment for anxiety. It's just about how you're handling the dog. And it can definitely be handled with an online consultation. We have at Alpha, we also have these behavior consultations, right, which our pack leader does. Anand does that himself. And we've had a lot of separation anxiety consultations that he's done. We have also done separation anxiety consultations, right? It's all about how you're handling the situation, how you're handling time out with your dog, right? At what point are you letting your dog out? Once you've put your dog, say, in another room, at what point are you letting your dog out? What are your activities with your dog through the day? How much of exercise is the dog getting? There are a lot of things to anxiety, right? And in some cases, it's not even anxiety. The puppy is not, exercised enough, and the puppy is all the time playful and therefore following, the pet parent around in the house all the time, asking for attention, right? So many a times anxiety is misunderstood as well. But yes, it is definitely manageable online. Yeah. Okay. Any more questions? Thank you for your question.
You're welcome. Thank you for the tips, says Meher. You're welcome, Meher.
You're welcome, Meher. Okay. So yes, now that we've told you how all of this works, right? Let me show you another set of video. And I promise after this, I'm going to give you the answer. But again, it's time for you to guess which one is an online training and which one is an offline training. The basic idea is to show you the results of online and offline training and whether you see any difference in the results, right? Not knowing whether we did it online or offline. So let's do it. Please do let me know if you cannot see it.
Sky, come. Sit. Good boy. Akira, come. Good.
Okay, so both were the same dogs. We did the same commands with them. Do you all see any difference? Are you all able to identify which was done offline and which was done online? Anybody, like, y'all can drop in your comments. For the first one, right? In the meanwhile, let me give out the answer. The first video that we showed y'all, the first video number 1 was done offline. Both were indies, both were doing all 3 commands, which is recall, sit, and down. And the second video with the little girl was online. So imagine, the little girl is learning her dog online, right? And her pet parent had a lot of issues with the dog biting and scratching the little girl because she's tiny, right? And the dog can easily jump on her, and she was bullying her. The puppy was really bullying her, and she had like deep scratches on her arm and stuff. But then we changed the way they play, right? Their playtime became their training time. Right? And they would play with the ball, but they would do more of training and less of the running around and the rough games, right? And it was a miracle, because now the dog, whenever she sees the kid, she will just sit down. Oh, are you going to like play with me? Let's get to training. Right? And so the second video was a little girl learning online. So frankly, that should be proof enough that online works.
Yes, and really well.
Yes, let me show them the last video that we have, right? Now this little puppy is actually going a long distance for a recall command, right? So watch this for fun.
Nice.
Yep. Hope you guys like that. And believe it or not, Akira is actually going from the ground floor to the first floor, where she has to climb stairs. She has to find where the person is sitting, because there are a lot of sitting areas in that place. There is one more person sitting on the sofa. She's ignoring him because she knows he hasn't called her because of his body language. She goes straight to the person that has called her, right? It is so exciting to see, because Akira has done just 2 or 3 sessions with us online.
Lovely.
Right? And that's the kind of result we've got. And we're not saying we are great trainers, but the pet parent is doing an awesome job with the puppy.
It's an amazing commitment. Yeah.
Yes. And that's the kind of that's the kind of involvement we need as Anvis trainers. We make sure we have that commitment from the pet parents, because it goes a long way, and we know it, right?
That's a good point. Why don't you talk a little more about what, as a trainer, you'd want the pet parent to be like or to do when you're starting an online class?
Absolutely. So we were getting to that. Yes. So actually, I'm going to just take this comment, because this is Akira's parent. Great job, Archana. Yes, absolutely. That video is fascinating, especially the way she's climbing the stairs, right? So many puppies are actually scared of climbing stairs, getting downstairs. And we have used the recall command, just to get the puppy going. Like, the puppy's focused on the pet parent and not worried about, oh my God, how am I going to climb the stairs now? Right. So just basic commands go a long way, and you can do a lot of things using just 4 or 5 commands throughout the puppy's life.
Oh, yes.
Right. Okay. So you did ask me what are the kind of stuff that pet parents expect from us, or we expect from pet parents, right? Obviously, pet parents expect a lot of solutions to their doggy problems, right? And we are there to help. But the result that we are seeing, that we shared with you, comes only and only when the entire family is together working on the puppy in the same consistent way. Right? When we do our first session, we actually request the entire family. It's like a proper video conferencing with the entire family. We talk to each person in the family. We understand what their equation is with the dog, how much of interest they have in bringing up this dog, or how much of work they do. Are they the primary caretakers? Are they just hanging around the dog? Are the grandparents scared? Are the grandparents okay with the dog being there, right? Because then we are able to guide the pet parents on certain things, right? Say you have senior citizens at home, you don't want your puppy to be jumping around, right? Even if it's a small dog, you really don't want a puppy to, because it can scare somebody, right? And have them go off balance. So there are a lot of different things that we discussed. Our expectation is just very few, but absolute commitment from the pet parent and family, the entire family. Homework, yes, like Archana was saying, we're absolutely strict with homework. We need regular videos just so we can guide you correctly, right? We don't see videos, we don't know what to talk to you in the next session, right? We are just depending on what you're telling us. But sometimes, because they are new pet parents and they don't know how to read their dogs properly just yet, they might tell us, oh, my dog is biting. There are so many times when we have heard the word aggression.
Aggression in pups.
For puppy biting, right? For the biting that they do because they're teething. That's, I'm not saying it's the wrong word to use. It's just that they're not aware of it.
Yeah.
It's just that, right? So videos are absolutely necessary. Everybody doing the same commands or behaving the same way or making the exact same corrections to the dog consistently across throughout the day. Say one person doesn't want the dog to enter the kitchen, everybody should follow it in the family, right? Somebody cannot be bribing the dog. Bribes are absolutely no, though we are in India. No bribes, right? But yeah, 100% commitment from pet parents is all we ask. We understand that everybody is busy, everybody's working from home, but you're saving that commute time. Just that half an hour, 1 hour during the day, and trust me, it becomes therapeutic after a point. It's very painful initially to handle a puppy. We understand that. But after a point when your puppy starts getting trained and starts listening to you, it is very therapeutic.
And it's for life.
It's for life.
Yeah.
Right. And we consider a lot of things. We consider tomorrow, what if you want to go on a road trip with your dog? What if you want to travel with your dog? What if you have to travel and your dog has to stay somewhere else, right? We actually pick up real life scenarios, practical scenarios, and discuss that out with pet parents and prepare them for it. So, being open. If you're not doing something right, tell us I haven't done it, right? It's absolutely fine. There's no negative marking. Though we are strict, there's no negative marking. So that's the expectation we have from pet parents and nothing more. Cool. Malvika, do you want to add to that, because you're a puppy trainer too?
No, I think you covered all the bases. I think the expectations that we also have is, as you said, being open. But also we solicit feedback, right? I think that's one of the things, because we're growing too. We're also learning along with you, and it's very important to share feedback with us. But the feedback should not just be about complaints, right? It should also be about what's working, what's not working, in terms of training the puppy, because we've noticed we can't train a beagle the way we train a lab or a husky, right? It's very different, or an indie. For that matter, they're all different. So constant feedback about how the training's progressing, where you're struggling, where you're having issues, feel free. And we also have these chats or conversations that keep on going, and we expect the pet parents to keep communications open with us, right? It can't be a quiet channel and then suddenly next week, boom, another class happens. Online won't work that way. We need to have that constant back and forth, because it helps us know how you are progressing through the week.
And if you have kids at home, I think it's a brilliant way to keep them engaged. I mean, I'm keeping that engaged. She sends me videos on her own, right? She selfie video with the dog, and she keeps sending me videos, and she sends me jokes also sometimes, which is nice. Right? So if you have kids at home, Malvika is working with a pet parent who has 2 boys at home, right? She's engaging even the kids. Like the dog is going for walks with the kids. She's assigning homeworks to the kids as well. So it's a great way to even keep your kids occupied at home. And feel responsible for the pet, right?
Exactly. And it's not a huge time commitment, right? I think puppies generally get very tired very quickly. So we're not asking for 1 hour trainings with them every day. We're asking for the same amount of time, but split over the day, right? We're asking them for 10 minutes, 15 minutes here. Everybody would go to the water cooler during office hours. just go and train your puppy at that time, right? That 10 minutes, 15 minutes, just try and find your time there. That's the expectation we want to have from pet parents, right? We're not asking you to put a time block on your calendar saying this is my puppy training time. Puppy training can be at any time, at any place, and incorporated it at whenever, whatever the puppy's doing, right? That's
and we are over time, so I'm going to take just one last question because it's a very simple answer and it's quick. What is the ideal age to start training? From the day your dog comes home, even if it means at 30 days, because these days people are bringing home 30-day, 40-day-old puppies, which is sad, but it's okay. You can still start training them at that age. It's very, very important to start immediately because you're teaching the puppy how to live with you in the house and how to understand. You're just making the puppy's life easy, right? So,
absolutely.
Okay, we are 5 minutes over time, Malvika. So I think we should give it a close for everybody who have asked questions, but we've not able to answer. We will get back to you with an answer. We're really sorry for not taking it up during the session because we had just so much to really share with everybody. But we will get back to you with an answer to your questions. Thank you everybody for joining. Malvika,
thanks everybody.
Thanks for being my buddy on the session. It was
it's always nice chatting with you.
Yeah. Thanks everybody for joining and have a good day ahead.
Thanks everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.